Welcome to TDT, where we aim to share our rich and diverse Army culture with you, Thunderbird Nation. I'm your host, the man with the plan to realize MLK's dream, to add another verse to MJ's We Are the World, and simply just to make my mama proud. What you say about my mama? Okay. Sit back, tune in. You never know where TDT can take you. It's Army Heritage Month, and we're taking our Thunderbird Nation soldiers out of the uniform and getting into who they really are. Oh yeah, let's see what we can find out about the world's most elite signal soldiers, huh? Let's get to it. Hello, Thunderbird Nation. Today we have a special guest, Specialist Marissa Scipio. How you doing today, Scipio?
I'm doing good. I'm here.
Oh, you're here? Yeah, so am I. How about that?
How about that? Wow.
So, Special Scipio, I wanted to take a moment to highlight the person you really are outside of the Army, out of the uniform. So, right off bat, tell us about your story.
Before the Army story?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, before joining the Army, I was married and had 3 kids, and I was working at a prison, which I enjoyed my job a lot. And then an opportunity arose that I could join the Army, so then that's when I gave up my prison life, as I like to call it. But before that, before me joining the Army, I would just take care of my kids, my household, my dogs that I had at the time, and my kids, and do different activities with them when I wasn't working 7 days a week.
So, that brings me to my next question. How was it working in the prison? Because I seen 60 Days In, and I don't think I can do it. Have you seen 60 Days In?
I have.
Okay.
I loved working at the prison. I've been in the healthcare field for years before joining the Army. Since I've been 19, I've been in the healthcare field. And I would say that was my best job. My whole thing is helping people. And I've worked for a gynecologist, I've worked for an orthopedic surgeon, I did home health care, I worked for the prison, obviously, and the prison was my favorite job that I've had.
So you pretty much did everything.
Mm-hmm. Okay. We took care of all different kinds of inmates. You never know what you were going to get that day. And I've dealt with people who were really sick from drugs to people who committed murder. We've had somebody in our prison from the Kingpin that was $1 million bond, highest bond our jail has ever seen. It was crazy. It was great though. I really felt like I was making a difference in helping the inmates.
That's awesome. So I see here that you hail from Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Tell us about that.
Bethlehem is a nice area. That's where I'm from, but where I was raising my family was a completely different area. I was raising them in Minersville, Pennsylvania, which is a very small town, a mile wide. And then we had, I think it was 700 and something population in the whole town.
That's it.
Mm-hmm. Small and quiet as opposed to the big city. I didn't want to raise my kids in the city.
So everybody knew everybody.
Everybody knew everybody. But nobody knew me because I would only work and go home and nowhere else.
Right. Okay. So I want to get on the subject of values. We know that the Army has its 7 Army values, the core values that we all enlisted in and we all observe, right? Mm-hmm. But we also know as people, we have our own core values that we've learned from a young age on up. So looking at the values that you have written down on here, you have integrity and selfless service. So how do you utilize integrity on a day-to-day basis?
Integrity, I've been using integrity since I've been little. My parents have instilled that in me since I've been small. Do the right thing at all times, even when nobody's watching. And that's something that, I've carried with me for sure. It's better to do the right thing than the wrong thing. If you have to question it, don't do it.
Gotcha. Y'all heard that, right? If you have to question it, don't do it. All right. So let's talk about characteristics
Mm-hmm.
You have, for your characteristics, loving.
That's me.
That's you. Kind.
Mm-hmm.
Self-control.
That's right.
And aggressive. How does that work?
I knew you were gonna throw the aggressive in there. I wrote it. But no, I feel like it's a good balance between, all four of the ones that I listed. You have to be aggressive at times, because if you're not aggressive at times, that's how people walk all over you and they think that you're a pushover, and I'm not a pushover. So at times I do have to be aggressive, or if I know that I'm right, I'm gonna be aggressive. If you're sitting there combating with me about something I know I'm right on. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But when I'm right, I know I'm right. And, with loving, I have kids. So it's just a part of being a mom, I guess. I carry that with me everywhere, too. Being kind. Treat those how you want to be treated. If you're kind to me, I'm going to be kind to you. And if I'm kind to you, I would expect you to be kind to me.
Can't be mad at that. I like it. So, the last thing. Is there any interesting facts, hobbies, or talents that you have?
So I've been crocheting since I've been about 9, and I've still do it to this day. I've made so many baby blankets for family members. I've made baby clothes for friends and family members. I've done all sorts of things with crocheting over the years and learning new patterns and different stuff like that. And I also love to cook. And in my household, we do this cool thing I call a continental dinner, to where I'll look online and see what different countries' staple dishes, and then I'll attempt to make it myself. And it's usually done on Sundays.
Huh. So what's your best dish? What's the best dish that you make?
So there was one from Greece. It was really good. And it's like everything is fresh. But you have your pasta and you make your sauce from scratch. You use feta cheese and cream cheese and all different kinds of stuff. Fresh lemons, tomatoes, and fresh chicken breasts. And you mix that all together, and it's just delicious. Probably one of my favorite dishes that I made so far.
All right, so that means we need to have a potluck very soon. And she's cooking. And with crocheting, do you have anything to present to us today that you made?
I do.
We'd like to see something.
I do. So a couple years ago, I made this blanket for my daughter for one of her Christmas gifts. And I made it big enough to cover her twin size bed. Like, it's taller than me.
That is beautiful.
I made this
Got
for
some of my favorite colors in there. Pink, purple.
Yeah, so this was one of her Christmas gifts, and it's big and it's heavy. So growing up in Pennsylvania and stuff, it gets pretty cold. Anybody who's been there in the winter time to know. So these definitely come in handy because of how heavy they are. And she loves it. She uses it. I actually just washed it because she uses this thing all the time.
Awesome. Such outstanding talent there. So I really appreciate you for sharing all of this with us.
Not a problem.
And to you, Thunderbird Nation, thank you for getting diverse with us today.